Welcome, one and all, to Umami Manga. I'm Petter, and this is James.
Hello.
And today we're talking about volume 13 of Oshi no Ko. The volume opens with a glimpse back at Sarina's short life. Ruby learns that Aqua is Goro reincarnated, and thus both twins know about the other one's previous identity,
Mm.
and their relationship starts improving.
Maybe a little too much.
Miyako and Ichigo reunite after many years, leading to Miyako pulling Ichigo back into the agency. After we got some backstory for Miyako,
Mm.
Aqua recruits the Crow Child to play him and Ruby as kids in the movie. Filming of the 15-year lie begins, and the volume ends with Aqua watching a recording of I that she prepared for his 15th birthday, where she requests something of the kids, and Aqua a little bit ominously promises to fulfill whatever it is that I requests of him there, which we didn't
Yeah.
fully see. And that's the end of the
No.
volume.
We're finally starting the filming process. So this is the arc we've been waiting for.
It absolutely is. And it's pretty exciting. So let's start by talking about Ruby Hoshino this time. We learned at the start of the volume that she's been aware of her previous life's mother and that situation for a while. It's a bit unclear exactly how
Mm.
long, but she has known about it, which makes sense honestly because for her to have looked up her old mother makes a lot of sense, I think.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah, but damn, Sarina's life story was so sad, so sad.
It it really was, and this kind of did paint Tendoji in a little bit of a different light, where maybe it's a slightly more sympathetic to why both her mom and dad decided to neglect her. I don't know whose perspective that was exactly. Can't remember, but uh, regardless, compared to how it was framed previously, it did seem a little more complicated. That being said, it was the obviously terrible choice to
Yeah.
to totally neglect your child like that, even though you're trying to protect yourself from emotional damage from losing a child, basically detaching yourself from it.
Mm,
You
yeah.
know, it's selfish.
It totally
um,
is.
yeah, very sad to see. And then the final nail in that coffin, I guess, is Ruby ended up seeing her mother with her, I guess, younger siblings that the volume confirmed were not born until after she had or Sanina had died.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad to see. I mean, part of me doesn't blame their family for moving on, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's part of life. But the fact
Mm,
that we have the context that they had basically cut Selena out of their lives at some point,
yeah.
that's what makes this so devastating.
For sure. Like they abandoned her when she needed them the most, kind of, and
Yeah, yeah,
it's not okay at all. Even if it's tough, like I get that the situation sucks for everyone with her, falling ill and whatnot, but it's still you don't abandon your child like that.
no, no.
But but yeah, looking back at all of this, of course, Ruby realizes that her previous mother or previous life's mother hadn't actually loved her the way she thought that she did, and or at least not since she got sick. Apparently, she showered her with affection before then, but
Yeah, and that's why I think it is. There's some nuance there. It's a little more complicated.
hmm
I guess it kind of goes back into the entertainment industry where you're trying to show face. It actually sounds a little more cold, uh, but again, you're just trying to mostly detach yourself from the situation, and it's a selfish act. But you're right. Like she definitely gave Sarina a lot of hope for the future in that, hey, you could be a figure skater too, or you could do this, you could do that.
hmm
And I guess two things I'll say about that is, yeah, yes, it's sad that after having so much love for her daughter that she would just totally detach. I use that word multiple times, so I'll stop.
No, yeah, no, but
I'll stop.
it's accurate.
And then secondly, it's just so sad to see that Selena had all that potential, which I believe she obviously did. I think that she was innately talented, but unfortunately, her health just wouldn't allow it. So it's such a shame.
Yeah, definitely. And in present day, Ruby blames herself for bringing misfortune to everyone that gets close to her. But that was before she learned that Goro was reborn as her brother.
I mean, her attitude changed real quick when she figured that out.
Yes. Yeah, so like precisely. So she doesn't probably really think that way anymore. Like she was just in a bad place right
Yeah.
there, but but yes, it did change quite drastically. Especially like I mean, I guess her feelings overall, but especially her feelings toward Aqua obviously drastically
Yeah.
changed.
Uh, this is kind of an Aqua thing as well, but uh, this is about Ruby. So he says, don't basically he says don't chase her mirage anymore. And
Yeah.
I like that. You know, Ruby should be Ruby. And when we were
Mhm.
having those, granted, more interesting, exciting volumes where she kind of starts trying to pull some strings and be a little more devious, it wasn't really her. And she said how horrible she
Mhm.
felt doing it. Um,
Yeah.
Not to say that she couldn't be that if she wanted to, I suppose, but I think Aqua is trying to say you don't need to be what I was exactly. You shine when you're yourself. And basically, when he says this, something clicks in Ruby. It feels like it seems like she goes back to her original self in a way.
Yeah.
Not truly, because I don't think you can ever go back to the uh, innocent, naive, or ignorant, or ignorance, basically not knowing what you already know. Um,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
but you see it in her eyes, where instead of the two black stars, it returns to the one white star.
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure we're supposed to read that as her kind of being more true to herself,
Yeah, yeah.
as opposed to yeah, as you were saying. And I think we'll start to see that in her idol persona as well. We haven't seen her really be an idol much in this volume, so I don't know for sure. But I expect because obviously while she's playing Ai in the movie, she needs to I guess embrace that other side of her. We even see it when she's playing Ai. She has the two stars in her eyes,
That's true.
which I guess in Ruby's case currently I'm reading kind of as she's not herself. She's kind of trying to be like her mother, which she should be when she's playing her mother. Um,
Right.
but aside from when she's playing her mom, she has just the one star, and I think like for example when she returns to her idol work again in the future, we may see something slightly different than what we've seen of her being an idol, or I'm not entirely sure what to expect, but something like that.
Hmm.
Something
Interesting.
slightly different, a little bit more Ruby.
Yeah. More Ruby. I like that for sure.
Yeah, because I mean, especially at the very beginning of the story, she was incredibly innocent about like and like her vision of what an idol should be was incredibly
Yeah.
pure.
Right.
um, and yeah, I agree with you that she probably can never return to that entirely, but at least a
Mm-hmm.
bit would be nice to see.
Yeah. I think it will. She'll go back to that a little bit more.
Hmm.
Almost like a fan, idol fan,
Yeah.
pure in a way, but also someone who has seen some things, so not necessarily completely um, naive to it all. But yeah, I agree. I agree.
Mm, mm.
What I don't want to see is and I think you already know what I'm about to say.
I
It,
think I
it,
do.
it, it is the incest. Like I,
Yeah.
that you know It's fun in the memes. It really is.
Yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
I mean, if the story is actually gonna go this way, then we have some serious issues.
It can't, right? I mean, uh,
Yeah. I honestly, I don't think Aqua would even consider it, really.
no, right?
But yeah, but I don't know. There were some pages where Ruby was she got I don't know, she's got the baby making eyes or something. Like it was not it was not good.
No,
I mean
no,
I mean she looked happy, but it looked like a someone in love kind of a thing.
definitely. I mean, she is, I think, and like
Mm, yeah.
she knows that they are biological twins. She knows that, yet she still is thirsting over her brother. It was funny though, before she learned that, well, who he was,
Hmm.
she said that she doesn't think of them as actual family.
Yeah. Multiple times.
Right. But she hasn't like made any statements like that since they got back on good terms. So we don't know exactly like because if she still views it that way even though they are on good terms, then I guess that does explain why she thinks it's okay because she doesn't view them as family. It's okay.
Yeah.
But they are biologically family.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously, it gets complicated with the reincarnating or coming back with the memories of a previous life and that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And I do think she never quite viewed Aqua as her biological brother.
Mm.
And so going into this, I think it's pretty dangerous that now she has these feelings for Aqua, and there's no barrier in her mind to stop her. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. I would hope that clicks for her and realizes, wait a minute, this is actually not not okay.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see where this goes.
Mhm.
I feel like from what I've heard of Mengo Yokoyari, this kind of seems like something she would find pretty juicy to write and draw about. So, uh,
Yeah.
I guess I'm not too surprised. Anyway,
But the story is Akasaka's, so I don't know,
that's
man. He
true.
never did this stuff in Kaguya-sama.
Maybe he's given her a bone.
Maybe.
See, I'm
Oh.
not going to do this unless there's incest.
Oh my gosh.
You drive a hard bargain.
My gosh. Don't give in like that, Akasaka.
Yeah.
As
No.
yeah. It is uncomfortable. As I mean, yeah, it's funny for the memes as you said, but yeah, not comfortable with it.
It was pretty funny to see Kana and well, Mem-cho obviously saw it for the social media buzz. Although I are we really in a society where people eat that kind of brosis love con stuff? Like, I mean, I know when people watch anime and stuff like that, and that happens. Like, people,
Mm-hmm.
I almost think they do it ironically. But like in real life, aren't we just disgusted by that? Even if they are pretty people, isn't that just like, ew? No, don't do that.
I'm sure there are circles that Mem-cho probably is aware of where
But she's
people
acting
are.
like it's like the entire social media was gonna eat it up. But maybe that's enough. I don't know.
I don't I don't really know. Yeah. It's funny.
Thank goodness Kana's the reasonable person here.
She really is. Absolutely is in this instance. uh, but is that all on Ruby?
Yeah, that's it.
Then let's talk about her brother, Aquamarine. Him telling Ruby not to fixate on revenge, I thought was a little bit funny, seeing as fixating on revenge is kind of his whole character. That being said, it was nice that he reminds her of Sarina's desire to become an idol, yeah, kind of helps Ruby back on track with that. Well, partially with that, at least. And he wants to protect Sarina's dream, and I can respect that for Aqua.
for sure, for sure. I mean, to an extent, I get where you're coming from. It's hypocritical. It absolutely is. But I don't blame him for not wanting to put Sanina Ruby into this.
Mm, true.
He knows who she truly is, and maybe this is a little bit of him being pessimistic and negative towards himself, but he sees himself as someone who is scum and doesn't deserve to have happiness for whatever made up reason he has.
Hmm.
But I do respect, and I felt like this way throughout the volume. I do respect him, or the way he's showing kindness. And Mem-cho kind of talks on this a little bit.
Yeah.
In how he's going about things and distancing himself in certain ways, but also staying close is his way of showing kindness and giving everyone, almost trying to fulfill everyone's dream in a way, while
Right.
also completing his plan.
Precisely.
It's a different reaction than I had in most of the previous volumes leading up to this arc, where he had like the fake laugh. Well, or maybe fake is not the evil laugh
Yeah.
moment. Like, we were both pretty turned off by that or disgusted by that.
Yeah.
Um, but he didn't have that moment in this volume. It felt to me, which I've always kind of had in the back of my mind, is that this is all an act that he's just
Hmm.
using to get to a certain means. And even the crow child, Tsukuyomi, or what was the name again?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
Tsukuyomi.
Tsukuyomi was basically hinting at that as he was consoling Ruby. But
Hmm.
anyway,
Yeah. Yeah, well, both Tsukuyomi and Ichigo made remarks at different points in this volume about Aqua, where Tsukuyomi said that Aqua's soul is on the verge of crumbling, and Ichigo said that he thinks Aqua is about to break if he hasn't already broken.
mm,
Similar kind of things to say, I felt like.
true. So Ichigo is a god, right? Is that what we're implying here?
Exactly. No, no, but like, I mean, it is true that Aqua has been through a lot, like in the series, carrying a heavy burden and
Yeah.
performing some incredible deeds at times, sometimes unbelievable deeds. Um, and I just think it would make a lot of sense for him to actually break down kind of at any moment. And I think I'd like to see that happen because I think it would be a natural outcome of all the crazy things that he's been doing throughout the series.
Okay. I hear you. But hasn't he already done that multiple times? He's had breakdowns like two or three times. I'm not gonna say more than that, but he's had a
Okay.
few of them.
Mm. He's had small breakdowns, like temporary breakdowns, but I'm thinking like something bigger, more serious, like more damaging in the long term.
Really? Like a seizure or a stroke? Like what?
Maybe more mental, like psychological, or
uh,
more like I don't know.
I mean, it seems like the moment when he was during the play where he passes out and then he just has this huge mental block and he's basically berating himself with insults in his mind, and
Mm.
that kind of seems like what you're talking about.
Except he got through that relatively quickly and was able to kind of just go on go on with his life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking something permanently damaging.
Mm. Death? No.
I mean, maybe that wasn't what I was thinking, but I wouldn't be too
Uh,
surprised, I suppose.
so yeah, so what do you think would be the permanent damaging thing? Would it be something where he just can't feel anything anymore, or or what?
Maybe something like that. Maybe I don't have anything too concrete in mind, but like either
Sure.
that or maybe like a extremely serious depression that just he can't seem to get out of,
Hmm.
or
But
yeah, something along those lines.
yeah, I mean, but I feel like he's been in depression this entire time for the most part. And I mean, some ups and downs, but depression has kind of been his personality.
Sure, he's still been functioning.
Sure. Okay. Functioning. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking
That's
like
fair.
depression to the point where he's not functioning as a like
Yeah.
he can't do day-to-day stuff.
Yeah. That's a good point. Well, I, I guess regardless of, and I didn't mean to put you on the spot on
Oh,
terms of
that's
what could actually happen,
all good.
but I do agree with you that both of them saying something like that is pretty ominous, and it may be hinting at what is in Aqua's path.
Hmm.
That said, I don't think whatever happens is going to stop him or stop the plan from working, but it could just be
Uh-huh.
the consequence of the plan working.
Right. And I agree with that. I definitely think Aqua will
Yeah.
succeed with whatever the plan is exactly.
Yeah.
But maybe right after it or in the process of achieving it, something
Yeah.
bad will happen to him.
Yeah. I almost think it's something physical at Matt, but that's
Mm.
just me
Right.
thinking.
I mean,
Anyway.
it definitely could be. It was just for me. It was like the way that it was phrased with like the soul being on the verge of
True.
crumbling. It made me feel more like it was something internal.
True.
But I don't know. We
Yeah.
shall see.
We shall see.
Anything more on Aqua?
Yeah, just a couple things about the very last chapter. What did I tell him about his father? I'm very curious. Does
Yeah.
she know the truth of who Hikaru was exactly? I mean, based on the little we've heard from of the script, I kind of think she did. Wow, though she asked Hikaru to come see the children, so I still don't understand that. But
Mm-hmm.
uh, regardless, I think there's hints that she did know the kind of man he was. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
And then final question, really, could she have asked Aqua to get revenge? But there's no way she would have known that she was going to die, right? Or unless she just predicted that it was going to happen.
Yeah. No, I'm really kind of at a loss with this one.
I do have a prediction though of what it could be, and I'm saving it. Um,
All right.
but this is kind of my thought process until getting to that. So I'm just
Mm,
truthfully, I'm unsure, but I do have a theory.
exciting. Then I look forward to hearing that later.
Okay.
Alrighty. Then next I want to talk about Miyako Saito.
Yeah.
She's been running the agency as we know, but it's taken a lot out of her. Uh, and I enjoyed getting this amount of focus on her, not just on her in the role of manager, but also the role as a mother to the twins.
Yeah.
Even though that wasn't as much explored here, but it was there was still a little bit, and I really enjoyed that. And also, obviously, very fun to learn that she played the Tokyo nightlife like it was a game when she came to Tokyo.
An RPG.
Yeah,
She's secretly a gamer.
I guess so.
Who said women don't play games? I never did.
Nope. Um, and yeah, and it was that whole thing which eventually led to her meeting Ichigo, which led to her career changing to managing entertainers instead of trying to become an entertainer herself.
Mm-hmm.
And she seems to really be enjoying that type of work, the managing side of it.
Yeah,
So yeah, I liked her backstory.
I did too. I really liked how Ichigo's dream kind of became her dream, and they shared in that.
Yeah,
It made
absolutely.
it seem like, well, not perfect or ideal, I suppose, but it made it seem like their companionship was much, I guess, healthier than I thought previously, like in the
Yeah,
first volume. you know?
Precisely. Mm-hmm.
It seemed like she was just there for, I guess, there for the money or something along those lines. But in reality, she was kind of hired on by Ichigo to try something new, try something else, and join him. And I don't know where the romance started there, if it was automatic or if it just happened over time. But
Right.
regardless, it's that shared dream became something special to them.
Yeah.
And then Ichigo, while he comes in and kind of dissects everything and gives her some pointers, he also praises her for doing such a great job. She not only does she find something she enjoys, she seems to be pretty good at it,
Yeah.
and holding down the fort while Ichigo was gone. So, yeah, I mean, it's great. She's found work that's perfect for her. She's raised two wonderful, if not a little emotionally disturbed children. Um, Boundaries, mother, boundaries. Got to learn to set
Yeah.
them between the siblings. Um, but yeah, I really was impressed with uh, Miyako. I mean, I've always been impressed with her,
Mm.
but it feels like she got a lot of good limelight here.
Absolutely, she did, and yeah, yeah. Like she built a great reputation for the agency, which Ichigo admitted that he would have never been able to do.
Yeah, yeah,
And I kind of liked the quote unquote twist. I don't know exactly if it was, but like how he started to kind of point out like how things could be run differently here and there, but then he was also quite clear at the end, like no, like you've done a great job.
yeah, yeah. It makes me wonder if part of the reason why he just could never come back is he was already gone for so long. He just didn't want to deal with the awkwardness.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? He's
definitely.
just like I
Uh,
can't handle it. So I guess in a way, Aqua had to force the situation.
right, and
Another
that's
instance of Aqua saving the day, by the way, or
exactly
saving
kind of
people.
behind the scenes, kind of managing to.
Yeah,
Although I'm very happy that he did this.
yeah. This was a good one. I was like, oh, okay, all right, fine.
Uh, but speaking of the dream to illuminate the dome with light sticks, um, just another thing I wanted to add to that is that I love how now we know that more characters have the dream of reaching or
Yeah,
of having the concert there. I think that's very reassuring that, it's not just Ruby who has that dream. We see
right.
at least two other characters now. Well, we don't know for sure. I'm assuming Ichigo still has the dream, even though he seemed not to.
Yeah,
At least Miyako definitely has it still.
yeah,
And so that makes me
yeah.
feel like it's more sure to happen eventually.
Right. Yeah, at this point, it does feel like that dream is. Well, I do think it will happen. It's not as crucial anymore. I thought that could have been before we really got into the murder mystery stuff. I thought that could have been a final moment, but I imagine that would be an epilogue or a side. But still, I do think it will happen.
Hmm, for sure. But yeah, is that all on Miyako as well as Ichigo, I suppose?
Yep.
Then next, let's talk about Tsukuyomi, the screen name of the crow child. Same name as the moon kami from Shinto mythology. Is it actually that Shinto kami or what do you
I don't
think?
know. It's a great question. I I'm almost more confident that it's a man inside a young girl's body
Really?
than
What?
anything. Yeah, just
Why?
because just kind of the way that Aqua and them talk to each other.
Oh,
And there's like a scene where or there's like a line where it kind of makes me think that Aqua implies that well so okay, first off, this volume basically confirms that this child is real, but it has the memories of a previous life, someone else's previous life.
Did it say that?
more or less. Aqua says you talk like a god. She says, well, it depends on how you people define God. If by my definition, with the memories of your previous lives, you two would be gods as well. As well.
Mm-hmm.
So, memories of your previous lives seem to be that this person is also someone that has uh, those memories. Uh, and said, this vessel was
Perhaps.
born from a mother just as yours was. Granted, I can't claim she was an ordinary parent, but I'm a perfectly, or it's a perfectly normal child's body. So to me, it's implied that it's kind of one of those. Oh, and then another thing, at the very least, I'm kin to those who are able to transfer the memories of the dead into the bodies of infants.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. To me, that seems to pointing at someone who's able to, or someone who has transferred their memories to an infant.
That's fair.
I don't know. I don't know why like this Tsukuyomi person cares about the whole Aqua and Ruby situation, but to me it seems like that she's in the same boat and has memories of a previous life. And I can't remember where the whole man thing came from. I'd have to get back to you on that. I don't remember off the top of my head, truly. It's just a funny hunch, but
The translation notes at the end of the volume did say that the Tsukuyomi deity is generally considered male.
right.
Was it from that you got it, or?
Well, that kind of reinforced my idea,
Okay.
but there was something else that I think it was something that Aqua said that like the way that Tsukuyomi talked. Yeah, bottom line, you're different from any irritating old geezer who lectures young people, and usually
Oh.
old geezer is reserved for well, an old man. Even though he couldn't do a thing if they all sat down at the same table. So it's really just semantics, but um,
Huh.
I don't know. I think it would be pretty funny if that was the case. I don't think it really matters. I mean, it's reincarnated and it does seem like Tsukuyomi, whatever this previous memory type shenanigans could be, to me it seems that Tsukuyomi is a little more ominous and godlike than say what Ruby and Aqua are. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
I guess the only thought that I got, and it is kind of I guess it could in some ways work with with what you're saying, is that Tsukiyomi has been reincarnating like that it I guess this is me currently kind of assuming that it is actually the kami with that name. Um
Uh huh.
and that they've been reincarnating on Earth over and over and over into infants' bodies. So like it is like the personality and the memories of and the whatever like the insight is this kami, but has been I guess throughout the generations been reincarnating in humans, and this is just the current vessel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Because I
Could
also
could be
feel
the
like
case.
this one is it's not 100% the same type of thing as with Ruby and Aqua. There's got to be more than just that.
I agree.
But yeah, Tsukimi was pressured into playing the twins as kids in the 15-Year Lie movie, and part of me thought it was a little bit funny to see that happening, but I also thought it was a bit stupid. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know
I thought
that
that too. I thought that too. That
Tsukimi was
frustrated.
so easily pressured into doing this, which according to them is like against natural law, and they're like, okay, don't call me chicken, I'll do it. Like, what?
It's definitely a comedic thing,
Uh,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if this was planned from the very beginning. I mean, you got to find someone to do the child actor, and maybe he being Akasaka wanted to, or that's the reason why he introduces Tsukiyomi to begin with,
Mm,
to eventually have them or her act in it. But
yeah.
yeah, I thought it was a little strange too. It kind of got me to roll my eyes a little bit when I
Uh-huh.
first read it. Maybe because Tsukumi was one of the few, well, not few, but it's because there's serious moments, but was a serious aspect and kind of this mysterious part of the whole story. To have them come in and interact with actual reality and the rest of the cast in very silliest way, in very silly ways,
Yeah.
um, is, yeah, I don't know, kind of puts a damper on the vibes Tsukuyomi was giving, and maybe that's subverting expectations. And I don't necessarily hate it, but
Hmm.
I wasn't too happy about it, I guess, when I first read it.
Precisely. Yeah. But this does at least like the interesting thing about this though is that it shows more of a human side to the character
Yeah,
than we'd seen before, and it makes me interested to see well I guess just to learn more about this character and see what actually are they.
honestly, I want to know why she's so invested in Aqua and Ruby's journey,
Hmm.
other than, I guess, having some sort of kinship with the reincarnated memories thing. But
Precisely.
she's invested in getting revenge, and that, or invested in Aqua getting revenge, and I don't know. It doesn't seem like this is a person who only cares about Aqua and Ruby making a movie. It seems like it's more about Aqua potentially getting his revenge. I don't know.
Yes. I mean, I think last time we speculated about this character
Yeah,
wanting revenge on Hikaru Kamiki, right?
yeah,
I think we
yeah.
speculated
I
at least
remember.
something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Uh huh.
And after having seen the more human reactions kind of from this character in this volume, and learning that they have potentially a bit more of a human side to them, what if Tsukiyomi was just a massive I fan? And it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
They want the revenge on the person responsible for her death.
Very interesting. Whoa. And they're just putting on this whole deity facade or whatever to, I don't know. I don't know. I actually don't know why they do all this to cover their tracks. Like I don't.
Maybe. I mean, or it is the kami, like
Oh,
straight up.
but the kami was a fan.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Who says gods can't have an Oshi, right?
Right. Uh-huh. So yeah, perhaps. Anything more on Tsukiyomi?
She says it was a bad move to make up with Ruby. Uh, I,
Right.
I why? Like, because she understands that it's be getting Brocon, you know, incest territory. Is she's just like, whoa, do you not know what you've done? I do think this is him trying to distance himself from others, but why was that a bad move? I still don't understand, because to me it seems like if you want Ruby to have happiness and not be consumed by revenge like he is, this is the right move, as long as it doesn't go elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Tsukiyomi does say that Aqua doesn't have the personality for revenge either.
The BS. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm not buying that.
Uh, it was an
Mr.
interesting thing to say
Edgelord,
though,
sorry,
because I agree, it
sorry.
doesn't seem that way at all.
Yeah, yeah. I, I kind of just like that particular line. I'm kind of just throwing away. Like, okay, whatever. It's
Okay.
I don't know. I To me that just seemed like such a nothing, or a cop out, or I don't know want to call it. Not the
Well,
truth.
I think it could be related to the fact that Aqua is crumbling or he's about to break. Like
Okay.
maybe it's true, and it's tearing on him more than we expect it does.
Well, here's my point: is that it's a bad move not for Ruby, but a bad move for his ending.
Ah,
Eh, yeah. So
I see.
I'm starting to think there might it's not going to end well for Aqua, and I mean physically.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah, yeah.
kind of ominous.
Very well. I want to talk a little bit about Mem-cho.
Nice.
She was very nervous about the acting in
Yeah.
in this movie, and it was always kind of just made into a joke at the start of the or early parts of the volume, uh, until Frill turned out to be a fan of Mem-cho, and Mem-cho's
That was so
self-esteem
cute.
just skyrocketed. Yeah, that was adorable.
Yeah.
So cute.
Could you imagine if like some huge YouTuber that we love just like, oh man, I love Umami Manga. You guys are great.
Oh
Never
my
gonna happen in a
gosh.
million years. But could you imagine that? Like freaking, I don't
I
know, Leonardo DiCaprio just like comes over and is like, oh my gosh, you guys are great. Like, yeah, I read everything you guys read, follow along every week.
Oh my God. I wouldn't be able to contain myself. I would
Truthfully,
probably I would laugh at that in some probably.
it's like you're kidding, right?
But
Um,
honestly.
no, but I feel that way whenever
Uh,
anybody tells us we do a great job, like in our
mhm.
Discord and the YouTube comments. I feel that
Oh
way
yeah.
all the time. So thank you to everyone who listens,
Definitely.
including you, Leonardo.
Yes.
Can I call you Leo? No.
Thank
Okay.
you, Leo, for your support. Well, but yeah, Mem-cho, she was also boasting about it on her stream, and she was able to keep her composure very well when it actually came down to filming. Which I really enjoyed that sequence or that chapter and that focus on her,
Yeah.
and she seems to have done a very good job.
Yeah. I really like getting the story from her perspective when we do. It's
Hmm.
kind of a nice change of pace from time to time, and honestly, you almost feel the only times that Aqua really shows himself, at least a little bit, is when he's talking with Mem-cho.
Yeah.
Um, he's had some pretty good moments with her. They're far and few in between, but he's had good moments.
Yeah, right. And I also feel like at least out of the younger characters, and now she is a bit older than the very youngest characters, but she's still I still categorize her with the younger characters in the story.
She's fooled you. No,
With
I'm just kidding.
she has fooled me. She is a high schooler, right? Um, no, but she's not like Miyako and like the director Gotanda or anything like that.
Yeah,
She's not their generation. And what I was
right.
gonna get to is like among the younger characters, she is like kind of removed from all the drama. Um,
Yeah,
Unlike all the others, are kind of in some type of drama, and so that's one big reason why I enjoy the yeah getting her perspectives as you were saying.
yeah, agreed.
Anything else on her?
Nope.
Then are there any other characters you want to bring up?
Yeah, oddly, I have one more thing about Taiki Himekawa.
Oh yeah. Mm.
He really didn't have much at all in the volume, but he does mention how, or he's talking with Aqua, and Aqua says, "Sorry about the script. It's probably just as hard on you as it is on me." And he mentions how the industry corrupted his mother. So I feel like we're gonna get some pretty spicy crap on Himekawa, and we've been talking about that for a while, ever since we realized how old Hikaru could possibly have been,
Right.
um, when all that when he became a father. So, I mean, to me, it's clear that Taiki's mother, Himikawa, must have gone off in a very dark part of place within the industry to basically do the things that that we believe could have possibly been done. I'm like
Yeah.
tiptoeing around it, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, for sure. And right, it is obviously very closely tied to Hikaru Kamiki's character, so in due time, I'm sure we'll learn, or I hope we'll learn
Right.
a little bit more on that as well.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds like. I guess my point of bringing it up, it sounds like we are going to learn about that, and that
Right,
Himekawa mom might actually have a bigger role in this.
right.
Um, in the end.
That would be nice.
Well, I mean, she's dead now, but in the movie, you know.
Yes, right, precisely. Yeah, revelations will present themselves to us readers.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
Great. Then let's do some predictions. And I don't have a lot actually, especially I feel like I've also mentioned a few things in the character discussions that could have been here, but I don't have a whole lot left.
Fair.
If you have more than me, which you probably do, then you can start.
Yeah, well, let's start about the one I was teasing with what Aqua or what he took from Ai's video to him.
Yes.
I definitely tells Aqua something about their father, but also about them growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's in Ai's character to ask for revenge. And maybe what it is that she explains how their father is just not a good man. I left him because I had to do that, and that her request would be, please make your dreams happen, be happy, you know,
Mm.
live your best life. I mean, it's kind of cheesy, but I think that's what any mother would want for their children, right?
True. That's a fair point.
And I believe Aqua took that to be, well, we can't, my sister can't live happily ever after. We can't live happily ever after if their father's still alive.
Hmm.
And so I think it's just him taking it in a certain way that maybe I never meant, but Aqua's taking it in a way, well, I got to take this into my own hands, put it into him, and that way I's final wish can come true, at least for Ruby.
Mm-hmm. Right. And if it is what you were saying, like if I said something along the lines of what you were saying there, which I honestly think
Uh-huh.
is a pretty good guess. I suppose you could also view it like Aqua is considering the revenge to be his dream, and then by taking revenge, he's fulfilling his own dream as well. So it's everyone fulfilling their dreams.
Clever. This is my dream, Mom, to be a edge lord. Ah, dang it. To be a revenge filled, tormented soul.
Uh-huh.
You know, that's my dream. Uh yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Hmm.
I'm not necessarily counting on it. It doesn't necessarily have to happen, you know,
Right.
for me to feel good or bad about the story. If I understand the characters correctly, that's just how I feel it will go down.
Yeah, and I like it. It's better than anything I could come up with because I couldn't really come up with much at all. Uh,
Yeah.
I was confused about it, and I think part of me was expecting it to be something a bit more crazy.
Mm,
But your idea, honestly, it's not a crazy idea, but it's a good idea. Like I
right.
think it makes sense.
It's a
Um,
little safe, but
I
I
guess,
think
but
it could work.
uh-huh.
It would be pretty wild if she's like, it's a story about your father, enter crest for me, kill that piece of garbage, slit
That
his
would be
throat. Like, whoa.
that would be so surprising if that's the case. Especially since I mean obviously she's alive when she says this, so like she
Yeah,
hadn't been killed yet.
that's what I'm
Um
saying.
it's also interesting that like to what extent did she know that he was a bad guy? Like because
Yeah.
we learned through I think it was Gotanda's inner monologue during the reading of the script, I believe it was. He made a remark of some kind where she learned something about, like I had learned something about Hikaru, right?
Mm.
But we don't know how much she learned. I mean,
Yeah.
supposedly she didn't know that he was a murderer,
Yeah.
but she could have still seen him as a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably what I think.
And still invites him over to see the children. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Whatever. Uh, crazy thought. What if her request is to never get into the entertainment business? Like, it's not worth it. Hikaru will come kill you. No,
Yeah.
no, I don't think she would tell them that. I think
No.
she kind of took pride in her little twins and was almost hoping that they would follow in her footsteps in a way, or
Right.
won't do whatever they want. But
Yeah, but still, and also the last thing that Aqua says, like when he's watching the recording, he says, "I'll do it properly all the way to the end." Like so, it's something that he's doing, on at least
yeah,
So it
that's
it
true.
couldn't be not being in the entertainment industry because
Yeah.
then he wouldn't be doing it properly.
Trust the process, mom. Trust the process. Yeah. So that's my thoughts on that.
Nice,
Um,
nice. Then I guess I'll share my only prediction that I have left, being about the Dome concert.
okay.
And I think because they in this volume they established that, well, for one, Kana is leaving Bikomachi, which we've known since I think the previous volume, and the plan seems to have been for her to kind of graduate from Bikomachi pretty soon, but it was pushed up to the end of the year for a concert that they'll be having.
Oh, I thought it was the end of August.
I think that was the original plan, but then it was pushed up
Oh.
to the end of the year. Although I guess we
Oh,
should
okay.
double check that. Um,
Okay.
try to find that. Where was that?
Great question.
Oh yeah, it's page 114. We put together a year-end concert tour for Bikomachi. Kana Arima will graduate afterward. So like the original plan was the end of August, as you were saying, but it was pushed up about half a year.
Yeah.
And so basically, what I was going to get to is that I think, well, so it said it was a tour at the end of the year. So maybe the final concert of the tour, or at least something with the tour, I believe will be the Dome concert, and that Arima will be a part of the Dome concert before she graduates from the band.
Wow. Do you really think they can get that?
I mean, it's over half a year into the future, or I guess we don't know exactly what time of year it is currently, but it's not August yet, at least. Either way, I just feel like if Bikomachi has a Dome concert, it needs to have Kana in it for the Dome concert. So I think it will be like her graduation concert, will be at the Dome at the end of the year.
I mean, it would be really nice to have that be part of Kana's final tour. I don't know. I just don't think that a Tokyo Dome could be taken that lightly. Or I guess not Tokyo, the Dome, whatever. Meaning, I just don't know if they're big enough for it yet. They haven't reached I's level, and I had just barely gotten to the point where the Dome was possible. You know what I mean?
That's a fair point.
I if the movie becomes a hit, but the movie wouldn't be ready for, I would assume, another year
Right.
of post
I also
production.
feel like that's a good point. Well, I guess we'll see how realistically the movie process is depicted and like how long it takes and whatnot. Maybe it'll
Uh huh.
be unrealistically like quickly made. um and it'll be a hit before the tour, and
The
then
year-end concert tour.
something I don't know. I wouldn't be too surprised if it's like a bit unrealistic in the time frame kind of, but
Mm-hmm.
I suppose we'll see. Regardless, I'm holding on to this just because I don't know, even if it may not be completely realistic, and because I agree with you, like I definitely seem to be bigger than the current Bikumachi is now.
Yeah.
I just really want Kana to be part of the Dome concert,
Yeah.
and so I feel like it needs to happen then at the latest.
Well, and I think it would make that dream more relevant to the story if it actually did happen before that it ended. You know what I mean?
Uh huh. Yeah.
Um, I'm still not convinced personally. I feel like it would be a later, epilogue, something or other. But
Fair enough.
that would be a nice way to send Kana off, and I don't know, maybe even uh, be a great way for Kana to feel better about herself. I don't know, but it could be
Yeah. Honestly, if we're going with the idea that the film is made quicker than maybe we would expect,
good.
I could
uh,
honestly see like the movie releases, which leads to Bikumachi getting to play at the Dome, and that's kind of the grand finale of the series is the Dome concert.
they could keep pushing her graduation. they just
Yeah, they
they just
could.
keep pushing and pushing, and then eventually they get the venue they want. Like perfect. They got all the hype of the movie and everything to go with it. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Kana does have a hard time saying no to people, so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go with some more safer ones until I get to my really crazy one. All right. So let's do
Okay.
that first.
Exciting.
I mean, this one is really vague. So it feels like there has to be a bump of some kind of obstacle during filming. I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, we're kind of going gung ho straight into it. We zoomed past dress rehearsal. We're into the filming stages, but to me, it just can't be just straight clean, no issues. Get the film done and go on our way. There's got to be some sort of hiccup, and I
Yeah.
was wondering what that could be. And aside from some sort of disaster on set, I wondered if it could be just more Ruby character dissection, where she starts to understand I even more, and the acting truly starts to click for her. And then we've already saw a little bit of that with her very first line that they filmed, but I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if we try to go further into that in order to give this part a little more sustenance or substance, I should say, because that's the right word. um, but I know that's pretty vague and almost like not very gutsy to call. But well, here's my other prediction. That's maybe a little bit easier. Is I feel like Hikaru has to get back into the story as well.
Yeah.
The idea of him just kind of being around, and we know he's enemy number one, but he's not really having a say or doesn't have a presence in this supposedly final arc. I guess we don't know for sure, but this
Yeah.
near end arc. I don't know. It's not always necessary in a story, but it does kind of feel like boogeyman can come out of nowhere. Ooh, type
Yeah.
type of feeling.
Uh-huh.
It would be interesting if somehow he tries to sabotage the filming um, during this, and maybe not to the point where he's killing somebody, but maybe he pulls some strings.
Hmm.
Aqua figures that out, and there's a confrontation of some kind.
We need
Um,
that, yeah. We need that
I think that would
confrontation.
eventually we need the confrontation, whether it be
Uh-huh.
here or if it happens multiple times. We need that confrontation. So it would be nice if that happens during filming.
Definitely, I agree. I mean, there's only 3 volumes left now, so things gotta start
Exactly.
happening.
Gotta start. Yeah, I agree. Okay, are you ready for the crazy one?
I think so.
I'm really not that sure about this, but I'm gonna put it out there.
Uh-huh.
So Tsukuyomi mentioned that she has kin, or she views those who have transferred their memories to infants as kin,
Mm-hmm.
whether or not that's her power or some other deity's power is, I guess, a moot point right now. But
Yeah.
she, for some reason, has a connection.
Yes.
And so I've been trying to think what could possibly be her motive for wanting to, I guess, support Aqua or be invested in this plot of his.
Yeah.
And we talked about maybe could there be some sort of connection between her and Hikaru, and like she wants Hikaru gone or punished or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And so this led me to think, what if Hikaru was one of those persons who had memory from a previous life transferred into an infant? If you think about it,
Oh,
if you think about it,
yeah.
it would
Uh-huh.
explain a little bit more why an 11, 12-year-old or however old he was
Right.
would uh, have a kid with an older woman. I'm not saying that, well, I'm not saying it was okay or that
Uh-huh.
justifies it. And I'm also not saying that it didn't mentally scar him or things of that nature. What I am saying is maybe Tsukiyomi is invested in it because she feels, I guess, responsibility because he's just one of them, one of
Right.
the people who had their memories for previous life.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be an old man or a middle aged man like Goro. It could be a child in a hospital bed somewhere that just had their memories transferred and now he's experiencing an entirely different life. So, just
Or
a thought.
it's like I was or like I was kind of speculating about Tsukiyomi, like maybe Hikaru is the same kind of thing, like where it is a kami who's been reincarnated over and over on Earth.
I mean, yeah, that would. I definitely thought about it too. Why I didn't go with that though, I think is because it would make Hikaru seem maybe less evil or less disturbed
Hmm.
and a product of the dark side of the entertainment world if he was
Oh yeah.
just somebody like a god or someone who was
Fair.
just reincarnated multiple times.
That's fair.
That
Yeah,
was
if he
my
is
thinking.
no, that's a good point. Like for him to be more well, if for him to be a human would make the entertainment industry out to be more of a villain in itself, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Very interesting, regardless. For him to potentially be the same thing as Ruby and Aqua, then.
Right. And I don't know if that has anything to do with why Goro and Sarina reincarnated into the children.
Hmm.
I don't know if there's some sort of connection there,
Right.
or parental thing,
Yeah.
uh, but I do think it's still out there because truthfully, would is that a bit of a cop out to have another character have this?
I don't think so. I think honestly I wanted more stuff like this because it felt a
Yeah,
bit strange that like the first volume dealt with this reincarnation and then for it to never come back or be like relevant again. I feel like I
true.
would really enjoy for the end of the story to well yeah shed some light on this whole thing and I wouldn't mind other characters having similar experiences.
Yeah, I agree. I think it would be really good. Uh, good way to bring back the beginning of the story to the end, and I mean
Hmm.
they've done a pretty good job of tying it together. But that would be another good way, and
Yeah,
and um, yeah, I would love for them to explore that somehow. I don't think it would make or break the story. You know, if it doesn't happen, that's fine. But I do
hmm
think it would be an interesting twist on it.
definitely. Yeah, I like that very much. Very good.
And that's it from me.
All right, great. Well then, James, who was your star of this volume?
My star was Miyako. I
Nice.
really loved how we learned about her as a person, and not only that she's a great mother, but she has this dream. Um, and I don't know, Miyako was always one of these characters that I learned to really like, but felt that she would never get much time to shine, and
Mm-hmm.
this volume finally gave her the limelight, and then her reuniting with Ichigo was funny, but also much needed, and a
Yeah,
great moment.
I agree completely. Miyako is also my star of this one.
Nice.
Really also enjoyed getting her backstory, which again wasn't really expected, but very welcome, and getting to
Uh-huh.
know about her dream, and also I like how she's been running the agency, not flawlessly, but very well, despite herself not thinking so.
Yeah.
And she was on the cover of the volume too.
Automatic. Automatic stuff.
So yeah, that was a very pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's volume 13. Now 3 volumes remain, and
Whew.
within the year we should hopefully be done with Oshinoko.
Oh, really?
I I would think so, or I hope so.
Okay.
With only 3 more volumes, I feel like it shouldn't take more than a year at least.
Man, I
From
hope
now
not.
to
Yeah.
for it to be over in English. We are so behind, or we've been so behind since it's been over in
Yeah.
Japan for quite a while. But yeah, I'm still enjoying it. It's still, I guess, little things here and there that makes you a little bit uncomfortable, or you may not agree with some choices of some things. But
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, I really am
Mm-hmm.
enjoying this manga.
Yeah. Yeah. I won't say where exactly, or I don't want to think too hard about where I'm putting it in terms of a score, but you know, I do enjoy. I mean, there are characters here that I really do enjoy, and um, as I said in previous volume discussion, we're getting back to the story that I really loved from, or what was teased from the very beginning, and
Yes,
very very excited about that. Can't wait to see where it goes, and yeah, 3 more volumes.
exciting. And dear listener, please let us know your star in the comments if you would be so kind.
Yes, please.
And yeah, that's all for now. If you enjoy our podcast, please share it with your friends. You'll find links to our social media in the description, and you can support us by rating our show on the podcast platforms and subscribing to our channel, Umami Manga, on YouTube. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time when we'll talk about Volume 14. Bye bye!
See you later.
When I got my first Game Boy Color, which was my first gaming system ever, I was 5, and my dad took me to Toys R Us, and I remember sitting on the counter,
Oh.
like by the cashier, test playing Donkey Kong on Game Boy Color, and we didn't buy it because I guess I wasn't into it. I can't remember too well, but I remember playing Donkey Kong, some Donkey Kong game. Instead, I got Pokemon Pinball.
Much
So,
better game.
so that was that was my first video game.